Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of Lakeside Adventure here on my Let's Play Planet Coaster series. Got quite a busy episode this one with quite a few things going off. Just before I started recording, I did alter the terrain just on this section of the Egypt area. I just wanted to sort of raise it above the rest of the path, just to give it, just so the whole area wasn't flat basically. Just there was a bit of terrain difference, and I wanted to put this small flat ride up there. Just to offer something else in the area, just next to obviously the pyramid with the roller coaster inside it that we built in the last episode that we named Temple Run. What you can see me doing here, I'm just building a sort of small food court and facilities area for the Egypt section. Nothing too massive. My plan is to go for a sort of terrace, a bit like on the lakeside bar that we built in episode 2, I believe. Right at the main entrance, but this time looking over the Egyptian entrance between Egypt and the US section of the park. I was having a bit of difficulty with the land here. It's slightly too uneven to build flat on. So after a bit of trial and error work and not managing to make it work, I eventually gave up and decided to slightly raise the path to just in order to get it to work how I wanted it to. And it still does a good job, to be fair, and probably looks a bit better than it would have done if it was just flat. So yeah, I'm pleased with how it turned out. Just in here, obviously, just building the path in before placing a few shops in there. Nothing, nothing too fancy. It's just a small food court where people can come in, use the shops. Got another toilet facilities because I did realise that I'd only got the 2 toilet blocks that were in the small outbuilding towards the main entrance. So I thought by the time the guests have walked around this far into the park, I wanted to be able to offer something more to them, and then just got 2 or 3 little shops here, and I was just trying to sort of play with the rest of the space I've got available. So I'm obviously just finished off this design now. Once this building's complete, my plan for the rest of the episode is to build a river rapids ride. I did briefly mention this in the previous episode that I did want to build a water ride in the Egypt section, and that's what I'm going for. So yeah, the river rapids water ride will be in there. I don't know whether you just noticed quickly just there. You'll see again a bit later on. I've got staff members coming into this section of the park, which was really confusing me. There you can see he's just going down the stairs. Really confused me because I've got obviously the wall in the path to stop the guests coming through, so that they don't come over to this section. But the staff members have appeared to be creeping into this area. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're doing that, but there we go. I did look at putting a roof on the terrace, but after playing about with it a bit, I thought, you know what, it looks better open. Obviously wanted to sign up just to sort of advertise this area, so I've called this little food court Cairo Court, just to again blend in with the Egyptian theme going off. So this is the food court. Just want a bit of lighting. Just want a bit of lighting going up inside, just so if it does go to night time, that the building isn't just pitch black and the guests have just got to wander around in the dark by themselves. So yeah, I mean, that, like I said, there's quite a few different bits of scenery here that do fit the Egyptian theme in terms of like temple ruins, etc. A lot of sandy colours as well, a lot of browns going off. I wanted a bit of a roof going over this stairway, just so it didn't kind of, just so it felt like it had something to it really. I originally did try and put these pillars down the side of the path here that you can see, and tried to stack them. I realised in the end it didn't look that great, so what I do end up doing is just sort of moving the pillars and deleting the ones that are down the side there, because yeah, it just didn't blend in very well, I don't think. I was, like I say, a lot of it is trial and error, and sometimes that can be the pain when I'm trying to record, is that if I start doing something and I think, oh no, I didn't like that, and then I have to go back and edit it. But no, I'm pleased with how that turned out, putting the pillars on the top instead, and yeah, the guests can come up. Obviously wanted a bit of colour going in this area. As I say, it's full of a lot of sandy colours, so I thought putting a couple of palm trees, not sort of covering the area in palm trees, just just the odd 1 or 2, and just finishing off the colour there with the flat riders. There's the staff members walking through the sign, so that's how they're all getting in. But yeah, I've got quite a few coming in the section now. Just here you can see me building this. This will be the basis of the River Rapids ride. Obviously you don't build it in the actual water, but being Egypt, I wanted a sort of River Nile sort of theme, and that's what I've gone for. It's slightly wider and slightly bigger than the river we built between the Egypt and the USA sections of the park, and I just wanted to do a bit of terrain colouring around here because I realised that a few rocks were showing. No, I'm pleased with how that lineup of the river works. Now, river rapids work best when they start off in the air, because the way they'd work in a normal park is you start higher up, and you sort of go around and you slowly drop as you go around the track. In some river rapids rides around the world, they do start off on the ground and sort of crank up first and then do a big drop. But I wanted to start off in the air and then slowly decrease on the way round, really, which is what my plan was here. So yeah, slowly dropping down to then eventually go for a big landing at the end, curl the way back, and then go on a small chain lift back to the station, which is how most of the rapids in the UK operate, especially the ones at sort of Alton Towers and Thorpe Park. Yeah, that's my plan here. Obviously, I had to try and get my levels right, so I just had to tweak the path of the rapids a little bit just to get everything to line up. I know the route of the rapids doesn't look the most exciting route, but a lot of the rapids is going to be from a lot of the enjoyment on the rapids is going to be from scenery, and what and it will look a lot better once the theming and etc. is done, which is what we'll be doing for the rest of this episode once the rapids have been built. And as you can see, I'm almost there. I'm almost getting there, succeeding with it, and I just about make it. So yeah, there's my track. I just wanted to kind of edit this little bit out here and wanted to have a bit of a wide splashdown zone, because I wanted to put a waterfall in. I wanted to put a waterfall section, and I realised that if I don't have a splashdown zone where the track goes a little bit wider, it can be a little bit harder to fit in. So that's what I've gone for there. Just wanted to send the boat round on a test and make sure there's no issues with it going round on the track. So while it was doing that, I would just decide to build the queue line down. Again, nothing too crazy, just something that will come out, and join the main path, really. So I start on this bit, just building the main path over to the next section of the park. No idea yet what that's going to be. If you've got any ideas, then please do suggest them. Yeah, no idea what the next country will be, but that's the sort of pathway and infrastructure to start that section off. Obviously, I'm just trying to squeeze this exit path in. Realised that the queue path needed to be budged up just a little bit just to fit this in, and then I could join that up back to the main section. So the boat has just got back up to the top of the chain lift and back to the station, so that was nice and easy. Wanted to make all of the ride blue, and then the boat ride I wanted to be blue and gold just to fit with the rest of the theme and the rest of the colours that I've gone with for this section. I think having the track blue helps to blend in with the water. As obvious as that sounds, and I know it doesn't sort of camouflage it, it does look a bit better than having the green track that I did before. Wanted the railway to interact with the river rapids. I do need to look at putting the station down somewhere in this next section, and this will, that'll probably be the start of the next episode where I need to put a station in. So yeah, I needed to think about how the train was going to interact, and thought having it go over the chain lift at the end was one of the best ways to do that. Obviously, the river rapids comes with a lot of supports here, as does the railway. So I was trying to sort of alter the terrain so that the supports were hidden as best they could without blocking the river up. Because although I don't like seeing all the supports, I don't want the river covered up with a lot of mountains, really. So yeah, here's me just starting on the waterfall section. Just essentially just putting a spray of water and then filling the base up with rocks. And yeah, so that's pretty much the way I'm going for at the minute, is the waterfall being the main aspect, and then having a few water jets being one of the interactive areas on the way around on the track, so that guests get wet on different elements as they loop round, just so that just so it is an exciting ride. Although there's not massive drops, there is enough to get the enjoyment levels up. And I think when you see the test results at the end, there is a lot of the enjoyment results are probably better than I was expecting, to be fair, on the Rapids ride. So I'm quite pleased with it. Obviously, just wanted to fill in the. I know the rocks look quite repetitive here. Don't worry, they are edited so that it doesn't look quite as deliberately man-made. I just wanted to make sure that I've got enough height there to kind of blend in the waterfall, and then sort of mess around with it and add rocks to the side of it afterwards as a bit of a filler. Just wanted to copy and paste the design there just to get the waterfall on both edges, and I think already just on that little section you can see the difference just putting a few rocks and a bit of water onto the track make to the ride. And the plan really from here is to just go around and theme the rest of the track, because although, as I say, the track isn't the most exciting layout in the world, it's not, you probably look at it and think, oh, that probably looks a little bit tame, but I think with a lot of, like a lot of River Rapids rides in real life, the River Rapids they're never designed to be the most thrilling looking ride as just on their own. A lot of it is about the scenery and the small bits of water and the very small drops and bumpy bits that you get as you go around that take you by surprise, and maybe the odd water jet. Again, sticking with the palm tree idea that we had on the flat ride section earlier. Just wanted to put a bit of colour around. Again, I didn't want to overdo it with a huge number of palm trees. They're fairly well spaced out, but I just thought having a bit of green in there just brings a bit of colour to the area. Obviously to the edge of the railway as well, so the railway doesn't look as bland after it's just before it goes into the pyramid there. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. And again, the rest of this episode is pretty much me just finishing off the theming for this River Rapids, and then building the station for the River Rapids as well. Nothing too crazy on the station. Obviously, we spent a lot of time on the roller coaster station with inside the pyramid. That seemed to go down really well, and this one will just be sort of a wooden cabin kind of style, just to kind of mix with the kind of mix it up a little bit from the temple theme, but still keeping it within the River Nile and a water attraction style building really. I think wood goes well with any water ride, no matter where it's supposedly set. Wood and water is always a good mix for theming and styling. As you can see here, again, just more rocks, but I keep looking back and looking down at it all, and every time I zoom out, it just looks so much better with the rocks at the side, either hiding the side of the river, the River Rapids kind of part of the ride, whether it's hiding the sort of tank that it's in, whether it's hiding the water tank, I just think adding as much as as much of this as possible. Again, it's a time-consuming task putting all these rocks down. Again, this is on times 4, I think you're watching this, or times 3, and doing this at normal speed, it does take its time, but the more effort and the more time you put into doing these little bits, the better the whole thing looks. And as you can see already, it's a massive improvement on what that original track just looked like. And the fact that you can change how good a ride looks just by not even altering the track one bit, just by adding stuff to the side of it is it's quite impressive. So, and it's one of the wonders of the game, really. It's one of the wonders of Planet Coaster, is how much freedom you've got to sort of change that and to do that with the scenery. So yeah, again, just filling in the last little bits here before I start building on the station for the River Rapids. I've not come up with a proper name for the rapids yet. Obviously, I want it to be linked with the Nile. Not quite sure. I may have a think. If you have got any ideas for a name for the rapids, then please do let me know. As I said, there's no. I don't want any specific theme as such, but just something along the connection of the River Nile, because that's why I decided to build a river rapids in this section. So yeah, just on the station, just gone for a traditional wooden plank style building. Again, just with the size of the track, it's hard to fit these panels on. So that's just why I've got 2 layers of the wall there. And yeah, again, nothing fancy. Just building a wooden cabin, and then decorating the inside just with a few lights. And then again, the last job then will then be to just put a few water jets around both the track, and I want a water drop at the start of the ride from the station and at the end of the ride as well. So just underneath the wall in which the boats go underneath as they leave the station and come back into it, I will put a bit of a water spray, just so the guests do get wet on the way out and on the way back in. I saw this roof roof wall top, and I thought this was quite a nice look design. So yeah, I decided to go with this for this roof. Doesn't it's nothing too fancy. It's not nothing over the top, but it just makes it a little bit more different really than having just square buildings. These are lanterns, believe it or not. They don't look like lanterns to me, but I can assure you when it goes to night time, it does light up in a very nice manner. I'm just trying to find here the water spray to go underneath. So I'm just trying to balance it and make it interact, and trying to do that on this wall using console can be a little bit tricky, but got there in the end and hit it there just above the wall. Again, I wanted one on the back, just to drop in. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how that went. And then I'm just finding the water jets I was on about. So I was just trying to find locations where I can attach them so that they're interacting with the ride. So here we've got one on the railway support, one just coming off the rock here, getting guests as they come through the other side of the waterfall. And it's just these little bits that, when you're on the river rapids, people obviously, as you're spinning round, you're always waiting to see who's gonna get hit by the water, and that's always one of the enjoying parts of being on a river rapids ride. I do think that there are some underrated river rapids, but there are some also ones that probably aren't as good. I won't name any names, but I know definitely the river rapids at Animal Kingdom in Florida is one of the best river rapids in the world. I mean, being in Florida anyway, being on a water ride is the ideal thing to be on when you're in the heat of Orlando. But yeah, definitely the one at Animal Kingdom, if you've not been on it, is one for the bucket list. Just finishing off the roof there as I've got the station done. So that's at night time. So that's there's the lanterns putting a little green effect on. So yeah, now it's time to test it. Again, I'll put it in chase mode just so you can see it without kind of getting a weird guest view. So let's go. And there we go. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I think the colours work well, the rocks work well. Really pleased with it overall, really. I may do some additional theming to the bottom corner where there's not much going on there at the minute. I'm not sure how I'd do that. Just this corner here. I may tweak that a little bit, but I've not quite decided yet, or whether to leave it like that. Yeah, that's probably the one thing I might change. But other than that, no, really pleased with it, and really pleased with how the area is coming along. So yeah, if you did enjoy that, please leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.